You know it's going to be serious when I need to push the couch out of the way. You are upright human, but maybe for a moment you can become a baby. And then you become a grown-up again, who is able to walk. Crawling, part 2. Crawling, a movement pattern as old as humanity itself. We will go deep today. We will see if we can reap any of the benefits. Crawling, 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 like we did as babies, or many did not do as babies. And if we revisit it, let's see what will happen. You will need a floor. We will start on the front side. Please come to lie onto your belly. And I will be sitting quite a bit in this lesson and just talking. Like it is common for teachers, we talk and the students need to work, and so please excuse me for not following along all the time, because I need to focus on presenting you, on guiding you through this movement sequence. Okay, so we start at the front side. This of course looks as simple as that, and arrive at your front side and feel the floor. So that's the first thing to do, to be on the floor. Let's imagine we are, how old do we have to be? 8 months, 10 months, and we are put into tummy time. So here we are again, tummy time on the belly. So if you have done my previous videos, this would help with that. And okay, so to which side do you have to turn your head? Let's leave that open, and your hand position, let's leave that open. We did a couple of shoulder videos already. You don't have to have done, not necessarily have had done my previous videos, would be to be a benefit, but you can jump right into this video, of course. So okay, you're still on your front side, you're on the belly, you're breathing. Okay, breathing works. Your head is turned to the right or to the left, as much as it's comfortable, and we will focus on the legs first. So leg work. Leg work. So bring your attention to your right leg, please. Leg, the right leg, which is your toes and your ankle and your foot and your knee. Maybe you can feel your knee, maybe you can feel the knee if your carpet or your surface is not particularly soft. How warm is the floor? Is it cold? Is it warm? Not noticeable. Is it a nice experience to be on your front side? Your right leg up to your hip joint, and where you lean, where do you lean? Do you lean on your belly? You touch the floor with your belly, or you touch the floor with your ilium, with the bony part of your pelvis in the front, or your upper leg? Where do you touch the floor? And just feel your right leg. And please bring your attention now to your heel, the right heel. And to which direction is your heel pointing? Is it pointing up, or is it pointing to the left or to the right of you? In which direction is your right heel pointing? And then roll your right leg a little bit. So roll the right leg like a noodle on the floor, to the right and to the left, but don't move the leg, just roll your leg. Yes, move of course, but don't displace your leg. Just roll your leg so that your heel is once closer to the floor on the left, and then your right heel is closer to the floor to the right, just to get a little bit of a motion inside your right leg, and see where can you let go, where do you have holding patterns, tension that you don't need, like are you stiff in your toes or in the ankle. Just let go and make this an easy movement. You can flip-flop your leg from the right to the leg, or you can make it a very soft and easy and nice movement. And see, is it easier for you to bring the heel to the outside or the inside? So that's a thing we can do in tummy time, play with the leg a little bit. And then the next time your heel is to the left, keep your heel to the left so it does not go any further. So your heel is to the left, and then when your heel is on the floor to the left, your right knee is already bent a little bit, isn't it? So the right knee is bent, and bend it a little bit more. Draw up your right knee on the floor so the inside edge of your right knee is touching the floor and the inside edge of your right foot is touching the floor. And if you continue this pattern, you're already in a crawling position, creeping. Not crawling, creeping. So your right leg is pulled up and now the head, of course. If you draw up your right knee like this on the floor and your head is turned to the left, then it's quite a twist in your spine, isn't it? So let's not make this a twisting lesson. We will make this a crawling lesson. So have your head turned to the right. So your left ear more or less on the floor. And what is our movement? The movement is about the leg work. So then please extend your leg again. So push your knee into extension, your right knee into extension. Push your right foot down again on the floor, down again on the floor until your right leg is long again. And be soft on the floor. Submit yourself to the floor. Be the floor. No, don't be the floor, but be on the floor. And relax, and then relax, relax. When did we invent this word, relax? So just be at ease. Casual. Yes, without expectations too much. And tummy time, continue to roll your right leg and roll your leg so the heel and you roll, you can feel your toes, and sometimes there's more weight on your small toe and sometimes there's more weight on your big toe. And when your right heel is close to the floor and the inside edge on the inside, when your inside edge of your right foot is close to the floor, maybe you can feel this is already the start position of pulling up your knee, of bending your knee, not in kneeling, but bending the knee while you're on your tummy, on your belly, on your front side, and then bend the knee and draw up your knee and feel what all the things that happen when you draw up your knee. So your pelvis can roll, can't it? Should, I mean, if you have a super flexible right hip joint, then you can forego the rolling of the pelvis, but we are looking for this connection from the leg. The leg does not exist on its own, of course. It's not a lonely leg. The leg is part of you. My leg is part of me. Very welcome. The leg is such an important part. It's a good leg. So let's play together. Let the pelvis play together with the leg. So roll. Let your pelvis roll when you draw up your right knee and then push down your right knee again. So this is our movement, and there's so many details, and please feel free to discover details. Please allow yourself to feel. You are allowed to feel. You shall feel. You need to feel. You must feel. Or maybe, what is the difference between feeling and sensing? You need to sense and discover for this movement. So this is the first part, rolling the leg and bending the knee and pulling up the knee and pushing down the knee. And your head turned to the right. And now let's see about the right shoulder. We need to connect further up. So as a first next step, please stand your right hand next to your right shoulder. Please stand your hand, but not like on sand. Stand your hand on the floor to be strong like Thor. How's that for a rhyme? So your right hand standing firmly rooted, like you would stand a tripod. Like if you had an expensive camera and you put your expensive camera on and of course your arm is invaluable, so much more worth than the most expensive camera for yourself, of course. It's very necessary. So stand your right hand like a tripod, like have your right hand in a good position to support your shoulder, and actually to support your right leg. So when you pull up your right leg, not only your pelvis can roll, but your right shoulder can accommodate this movement of your right knee. So observe this as a next step. Observe this when you push down your knee, when you extend your right leg, and then when you pull up your knee. So this is the important part for the right hand. So your left arm can be lying down next to your left side, on your left side, downwards, and your right hand standing, and pull up your right knee and push down your right knee. And observe the significance, the role of your right hand, of your right shoulder, when you pull up your right knee. So you can support, can you feel that? Can you feel this support when you have your hand, without doing anything special, just by having your right hand standing. So that's all, your right hand standing in a good position. With, see where you have to turn your fingers, or maybe it will, if you allow, if it may, it might, it really might organize itself. And if you allow it if you allow your hand, your body, like we are not born blank, we are not, like we are humans. We have existed at least since how long? 2000 years? We have written history, maybe longer, maybe a million years, we don't know. How long have you been in this? How long have you been in evolution? And now, so this is where we are. So your hand, and the hand knows how to stand on the floor to support your knee, or at least for this motion of crawling. When you pull, so I am talking a lot, but just to give you some ideas, what to feel, and then don't stand your hand. Put your hand, your right arm alongside, down on your right side, like a walrus, or just like a, I don't know, a skydiver. The arms down and continue the movement of pulling up your right knee, and observe how it is when the hand is not there and the right shoulder is just hanging down. And feel your chest, where your chest is leaning, where it's pulling on your chest, how you make a contact with the floor while you're moving your leg. And then again, stand your right hand and see how it's different now when your right hand is standing. And when you pull up your knee, allow your head, your eyes, your nose to come closer to your right knee. And maybe you can feel the muscles on your chest, the muscles in between your ribs, your obliques, your abdominals, your back muscles, your neck muscles. Maybe you can feel how they can become shorter, how you can side bend, how you can bring your nose closer to your knee, underneath the frame, underneath your arm. And you can compare this movement with your right hand standing or without your right hand standing. And yes, and so there's a lot of things to notice during this movement. And of course, your right leg, your pelvis, then your powerful core and your chest, and how you side bend and twist and flex, and how your nose is coming closer to your knee and how your knee is coming closer to your nose, and then the other way around when you become longer again, when you extend yourself to come back onto your belly extended. And so maybe a lot has changed already in your perception of this movement. And let's take a break. So please come to lie, roll over onto your back and have a break on your back. We have had like quite a couple of movements already, quite an exploration already. So it's time to take a break. And the back is I think it's a good position to take a break in this moment of exploring the ingredients of crawling a little bit deeper. Like in the last lesson, crawling, the first lesson, it was a little bit more, it was faster, and the movements were a little bit bigger. And here we are going more into detail, but we cannot follow this one path too far down. So if we would explore this side bending twist, your right knee towards your nose towards your knee, underneath your arm, so that's a very nice motion, it's beautiful, and you become flexible, and later you will be able to stand better. But then suddenly this lesson would be a lesson about side bending and flexion and upright standing, but we want this lesson to be about crawling. So please come back onto your tummy, on your belly. Tummy time again. Yes, roll over, come onto your tummy and stand your right hand and start to draw up your knee again and feel the leaning points. So we need to go back towards crawling. Feel how the movement of your right leg, and maybe your left leg is awake, wide awake too. Maybe when your pelvis rolls, your left leg can participate in this movement already, but in which way? And feel how it pulls on your chest. So when you draw up your right knee and your head comes closer to your right knee, feel where it pulls on your chest, on your ribs. And when you push down your right leg, feel there's a diagonal. Like when you give it a push, when you push your right leg down, feel how this is an extension movement. How you could lift, if you like to lift. If you push down your leg, lift your head. Let's do this. Lift your head when you push down your right leg. And then take a rest again. So our first movement, in this movement, the same movement, to draw up your right knee towards your head. And then when you push down your right leg, feel the connection to your left shoulder, and maybe lift your head a little bit, or come into this, and allow yourself to come into this extension when you push down your right leg. And let's make this a little bit stronger. So stand your left hand also. Stand your left hand. And when your right knee is bent, when your right knee is up, use your left hand. Stand your left hand, but not on sand. Stand it on the floor to make it strong like Thor. Stand your left hand and push the floor with your left hand in order to push down your right knee. And when you pull up your right knee, you can help with your right hand. And when you push down your right knee, help with your left hand. But the thing is, you need to feel the connection between moving your leg and helping with your hand. So here we're going into this crawling pattern. You might feel it already. It might start to, the nervous system might dig deep into these old structures and like, I know this, I have done this before. And maybe you can feel this pattern emerge now from your inside if you just let it come up, if you let it boil up. Let's try a variation. So you're on your belly and have both hands standing and draw your right knee up. And do not extend your right knee, but push. So lift your head and push with your left hand. So this is something you might have seen in other babies, but maybe you can feel it. When you push with your hands towards your right buttocks, towards your right foot, you will come up onto your right leg and down again. So when your right knee is drawn up, push with your left hand, help with your left hand, but don't extend your right leg, but use your head and use your extension to come up with the same motion that you would use to extend your right leg, but just don't extend your right leg so you can come up onto your bent right leg. And then you're up into this, in this crawling position. A word of caution, if I may. If you have back pain, lower back pain, or if you ever had back pain, even if it's years ago, you need to be extremely cautious in this, especially in this lesson, to protect your lower back, to be safe. So when you come up on all fours, you need to engage your core. You need to engage your core when you come up on all four limbs. So this rhymes. You need to remember that. So don't let your belly hang loose. Don't let your belly hang down, limp, flaccid. If you ever had low back pain and went to see a physical therapist, then your therapist will probably have shown you this exercise, the stabilized balanced table pose, where you lift one arm and the opposite leg, and here you cannot arch your lower back and you cannot let your belly hang loose. You need to have a little bit of tightness in your belly. Or in the side bridge, when you come up on the side bridge on your elbow and one knee, then your obliques are holding you up, otherwise you would sag down. But you need to engage your core in the side bridge or on the other side on the side bridge. But of course, if your shoulder has a problem, then this exercise falls flat. Or what's another core exercise? The stabilized curl up, where you are on your back and you lift one leg and you do not press your lower back flat to the floor. So this kind of core stabilization you need to have in this crawling lesson, because we generate force, we generate power with the legs, and this power should not end in your lower back, or it will end your lower back and you will feel that. But this power we generate with the legs, in pulling up the legs, bending the legs and extending the legs. It needs to travel through your torso, through your chest, to your shoulders and arms, or the power we generate by pushing up into all fours from the arms needs to go into the legs and not end in your lower back. And you don't have to be like super stiff and tight in your upper back, just a basic kind of tension around your core. That's the muscle in front and on the sides and the back around your lower back. A basic kind of stiffness to transmit the forces. There's quite a misconception about the skeleton. So these forces, this power doesn't travel through the skeleton. The skeleton is not a scaffold, not a structure, not like if you look at a house or a high-rise, the steel construction, the steel frame of a high-rise building, it's not the same like the human skeleton. The human bones do not transfer forces like this. You need to know this. If you think of the skeleton as a structure like a scaffold in a house, it's not like that. You need to think of your bones. Your bones are compression elements that actually float in the tissue, and the tissue needs to have some basic kind of tension to hold everything together, to compress the bones actually. And the forces and the power need to go through your tissue, through your muscles and your tendons and the connective tissue from your legs, through this tissue to your arms. That's how it works, and it cannot be limp. Example, a rope. If you think of a rope that's just hanging limp, you cannot push nothing with a rope. But if you think of a bamboo stick, a young, flexible bamboo stick that can bend, but you can also push something with the bamboo stick. Something like this. So a basic tension, not super stiff, but a basic tension. Or another example, when you walk over a bridge you can walk on, the bridge will swing. If it's a small bridge, it will swing, and it may swing, and it will swing, and it must swing, but it still carries you. So you can think of being that bridge you walk on. Or if you look at a dog, a healthy dog, the torso of the healthy dog will swing to the sides actually quite strongly and still be strong. So to transfer the forces through the upper body. So let's call it swing. So you can swing from one side to the other, and you can side bend and extend and flex, but you need to have this basic, stiffness is a bad word, but this basic bamboo swing quality to transfer the forces, the power we generate, you generate in your legs up, and to use it for motion and not to destroy your back, especially if you have a disc herniation, a slip disc, or facet joint pain, any kind of damage in your lower back. You need to protect your lower back and make this conscious effort, which might sound strange or even foreign in a somatic movement class, but we need to stay safe. So please stay safe. And so that's my word of caution. And then let's continue with the lesson. So do you have that? Did you get that? Step by step. So we started with just drawing up with rolling the leg, rolling the right leg and bending the right knee to the side and drawing up the right side. And then we looked at the connection with the right shoulder, with the right hand. We could stand the right hand or not stand the right hand and see how that connects. And then we added the left hand because of the relationship of pushing down the right knee. So when you extend your right knee back down, there's a connection up to your left shoulder. You can feel, and it's connected with an extension movement. And the left hand, you can press the floor with your left hand to help extend your right knee. And if you don't extend your right knee, the same movement will bring you up onto your right leg. Yes? So if you have that, so that's an important milestone. If you pass this milestone, take a short break on your back. So have another big break on the back. And how do you feel when you're on the back? Yes? Okay. Yes, go pee 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 pee. Okay. Okay, so now it's time to do the other diagonal. So please come into tummy time onto your front side again. And of course, this time turn the head to your left and start to roll your left leg bit by bit. So build it slowly, because we took quite some time on the right side. So let's take a little bit of time on the left side. It's like we learn to write with the right hand, and if you would learn to write with the left hand, it doesn't take that much time anymore. But practice, of course. Practice, practice, practice. So roll your left leg and feel. So this is the important part. Feel. When does it make sense to bend your left leg? When is the good moment? Timing. Feel the timing, orientation. When does everything come together? Kinematic linkage, like a harmonious movement, a poem of movement. I cannot really say dance, but a movement that's congruent. When is it time to bend your left knee? When is it time to draw up your left knee and feel this rolling of the pelvis, the twist of your spine up to your head. So until your left leg is bent, and then extend your left leg again and see how that is different on this side. And you might feel the pull, allow your core to pull yourself to the left, to allow your nose, your face come closer to your left knee on your left side. Feel the strength, like when you ever held a baby, you could feel a healthy baby is like it's just muscles. It's like, so it's very like strong and tight, and it's like holding a turtle. Like it's really strong, and feel that strength in yourself when you side bend, when you draw up your knee, when you push down your knee, and then explore how it is to stand your left hand. And interestingly, many more words rhyme with right than with left. So the left hand, left and deft. Deft means to be dexterous, but the whole body is dexterous. When I say deft, on the left, be as deft as on the right. The preferred side, right side, flight, light. So on the left, with or without your hand, left hand standing. And yes, so discover the things. If the left knee doesn't come up easily, maybe you need to side bend first. Maybe you need to have this side bend. Think of your nose coming closer to your left knee. Explore. Nobody can teach you the details. The details are up to you. It's like in sports, in every profession. This is what makes a specialist a specialist, because he found out all these things and he can apply them. And we need to be specialists in crawling if we want to explore crawling. And you can have the right ideas and look for the easy path. It's okay to look for what's easy. Well, how do you have to flex? How do you have to extend? To feel what's easy. So you have these connections. And then the last thing of these things on the left side is to explore the extension of your left leg. So when you extend your left leg, feel the push and pull up to your right side. So you need to push this lesson in this direction of crawling. So when you extend your left leg, stand your right hand and push with your right hand to help extend your left leg. So they work together, your left leg and your right hand, and your head extension. So that's like my Getting Better Day by Day series. If you have followed me for some times, and I have more lessons like this extension, a harmonious extension, where the extension is not just in your neck and not just in your lower back, but also in your buttocks and in your leg and in your chest. And the extension gets hold of your whole being in this sense. When you push your left leg down, and when you pull your left leg up, you become smaller. When you push, you become longer. And then don't extend your left leg, but push with your right hand to come to sit onto your left leg. And find where you have to place your hands. Allow yourself to place your hands, to place your leg, to roll, to move, to move, to move, to move. This is your session. This is your time. You're allowed to move. You're not only allowed, you're required to move. We undo 12 years of schooling, or I don't know, I was sitting 18 years in a classroom, and I don't know how many hours in offices on chairs with the pelvis planted, and now the pelvis suddenly can move, needs to move, is required to move. I mean, that's a big change, isn't it? It can be drastic, and this can be an emotional, very impactful lesson, and actually undid me quite a bit. So I needed, when I started to explore this lesson, it was really deep for me, and it really undid quite a bit in me, and so I needed a couple of days to recover and to feel strong enough to be able to teach this lesson to you today. So, did you find it? Do you have this milestone on your left leg to right shoulder diagonal? And if you have this milestone, let's combine this, and maybe it boils up, maybe you're already quite into this lesson. We combine those two sides. So let me lead you through a first structured set, and then you can be on your own again and explore in your own timing. So tummy time on the front, head to the right, both hands standing. Draw up your right knee. And then push with your left hand to extend your right knee. But because your left hand is pushing, turn your head to the left. And your left hand is pushing, so that's a good moment to draw up your left knee. And then take a rest on your left side with your left knee drawn up. And then start to extend your left knee by pushing with your right hand, and allow your head to turn back to the right. But because your right hand is already in action, it's a good moment to draw up your right knee. And take a rest on your right side. So this is a full cycle. And then explore the details. See how you can put everything together on your own. When you draw up your right knee, you push with your right hand. And when you push down your right knee, you push with your left hand. But because the left hand is pushing, you turn the head to the left, and then you draw up your left knee. So the left knee is up. And then to extend your left knee, you push with your right hand. But then the right hand is already pushing and standing, so draw up your right knee and turn your head to the right. And so this can become a cycle. Yeah? So if you have that, great, you will feel great. And if you don't, then go back these 3 minutes and do it again until you have this milestone, this part down. So you can go from one side to the other side. And it's like a fluent connection. It's like passing on, what is this? Olympic running, when the people pass on the stick, so this is kind of similar. It's like you pass on something and you continue and continue and continue. It's always fresh, but you pass on the standing of the hand. And then make it softer, less power. Take out the power, take out the effort, make it soft, breathe. And don't push with your hands anymore that much. Don't push with your hand. Just have the hand standing and do the leg work. The leg work and the rolling of the pelvis and how it trickles up from your pelvis. And how you side bend, how you use your core, the turtle, the little ninja turtle, how you go from one side to the other. Yes, so it's a side bending. Okay, and then push yourself up onto your knees and come back down. So I don't, this is where I would love to see you because I have no idea what you're doing. And I would like to see what you're doing, but go on with the lesson. There's just one last thing we need to do, and this is the actual crawling. So let's get into a position where we are the same. So let's start on the belly, tummy time. Draw the right knee up, push up onto your right leg, and then also draw up your left leg. But not 100% symmetrically. So your right hand is closer to your right knee and your left hand is further away from your left knee. And then how would you take a step? So you would lengthen your right side and shorten your left side. And then lengthen the left side and shorten the right side. And allow your pelvis to swing, allow your pelvis to swing, allow your arms and legs to work together in diagonals. So allow your, what is it, bum? If you're a baby with diapers, you have a very big bum. To allow your bum to swing from right to left and allow your side to shorten and lengthen. Feel that power in your core when you're taking those steps. You lengthen one side and you shorten the other side. And allow your head to go from one side to the other and to see one knee and the other knee, one knee and the other knee. You look at one knee and the other knee, one knee and the other knee, and you look at one knee and the other knee. Yes, go from side to side. And here everything flows now because we built it from the ground up. We came from tummy time and built the crawling up from tummy time and allow yourself to move everything and to lengthen and to shorten. And you go from side to side and you will look like an organic being, isn't it? And at any time you can come down and you can come up. You can have a little bit of a creeping moment. Creeping. Where you push with one hand, pull with the other hand, and allow yourself to go from side to side, to shorten one side, lengthen the other side. Allow your pelvis to transmit the movement up to your shoulders, and allow yourself to extend when you need to extend, and side bend when you need to side bend, and flex when you need to flex. And have fun. Enjoy this. Play with it. Be playful. This movement of lightness and enjoyment is a good indicator that you're on the right track. The more fun you have, the more you giggle, the more this boils up, this feeling of this is kind of crazy, but it's also kind of fun, and it's kind of legit. This is the real crawling. So if you have this kind of feeling, then you're on the right track. Milestone passed, and I think from here I can conclude this lesson. So I've shown you anything for crawling too, what I wanted to show you, and let's see how it feels like in standing. So you can of course continue to crawl. You can stop the video, put on some music. You can teach this to your spouse or to your children or to your parents, and always be comfortable, always be safe. If something is stressful, take a step back, go slower, and enjoy it. Have fun. Have fun. Yes. So last thing is to look at it in standing. How do I feel? How do you feel in standing? So please come up to stand, and in all playfulness. Of course, we are grown-ups. We revisited this childhood pattern of crawling, this age-old pattern. Come up to stand, please, and feel how it is to come up to stand. How suddenly your technique to come up, maybe this got a lot easier because we rediscovered this diagonal pattern. So actually I did this quite extensively on my YouTube channel, this way to come from kneeling to standing, but maybe it's so easy now because crawling was the missing link actually. So stand and feel how you stand, and walk around a little bit, and you are upright human, but maybe for a moment you can become a baby, and then you become a grown-up again who is able to walk up and down. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Maybe we should end this lesson with a flexion, a couple of flexion movements, because we did a lot of extension with these crawling patterns, just to counter this, that we don't end in extension, you don't end to have back pain tomorrow. So let's do just a couple of flexion movements together. Please come to lie onto your back and stand your feet and bring your, for example, right hand behind your head, and with your left hand get hold of your left knee, and we do just a little bit of flexion like we did on my channel so often, to bring your chin closer to your chest and press the middle part of your chest against the floor, and bring your right elbow closer to your left knee, but not all the way, just a little bit, an approximation. and then hold it and bring them apart again. Then change over your left hand to hold your right knee, and please observe, attention, the left foot is standing, so the left leg is not extended, the left foot is standing, and then again look with your eyes to your right foot, lift your head, look at your toes or your right heel, and bring your right elbow closer to your right knee, bring them together and apart again, and then we switch over the hand with which we're holding the head. So in my case, left hand behind the head and the right hand to the right knee, and then look again to your right heel and bring your left elbow closer to your right knee. So this is a diagonal, and slowly, and breathe out while you're doing it. Fold up, then stop folding up, then change over your right hand to your left knee, and again the right foot is standing, the right leg is not extended, so you're in a flexion pattern, and start to look at your left heel. So here we had a little bit of flexion, maybe both hands behind your head, and bring both of your elbows closer to both of your knees, and press the middle of your back against the floor. And hold this position for a bit. And then let's get on with the day.